just double check. Yo, yo, YouTube world. We are live here and worldwide. Mr. High Five Vega and Mr. BassCop with us tonight. We're just doing an audio check. You guys hear us okay?
Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
Mike, can you,
One,
yeah, give us
one,
a,
two, three.
there you go. Tell us, you guys, I think we're about 20 seconds behind live here with the stream. I'm going to go ahead and share the little image for today that I so eloquently built with my horrible skills.
Hey, I
Yep.
thought it looked good.
Yeah, me too.
That the problem is I had everything separated in Photoshop, but the 12-volt talk part, my computer rebooted one night. You know how Windows likes to do that without asking you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the Photoshop version with all the layers separated saved, so all I had was the flat version, so I can't pull that 12-volt talk off very easily. Anywho, all right, well, I will go ahead and do the countdown and we'll start up. I think it's my turn, Rob, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, we're episode 30. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 12-volt talk, episode 30, guest starring BassCop. What's going on, guys? This is Derek from Wilson Audio, also known as Big D Wiz. In my former life, something happened to him. You can check me out on youtube.com/BigDWiz. WilsonAudio.com will take you straight there so you don't get confused with that Big D Wiz mess. As always, I have my guest, my co-host, my good buddy, Mr. High Five Vega. What's going on, Mr. Vega?
Yo, what's up, D? High Five Vega here. YouTube.com/High Five Vega. We're ready to get it going.
We got our blue light specials going tonight. We got Mr. Mike, Mr. BassCop. What's going on, Mike?
What's crack-a-lackin', fellas?
Hey, man, thanks for taking time out of your schedule to join us tonight. We greatly appreciate that and look forward to a lively discussion, asking you some deep, dark, detailed questions.
Welcome to the dark side.
That's right. Before we get started with that, though, and tease everybody, we do want to talk about something, don't we, Rob?
Oh, yeah. Podcast reviews. We're at 71, so we're 4 away from the giveaway. So y'all get on there who hadn't reviewed it and review it. And, yeah, let's give away that another sub.
Yeah, and we can, if you don't have an iPhone and your son or daughter does, hand it to them. Like some people have left reviews and says, my dad or my mom, not my mom, obviously, my dad likes your show and told me to leave this review. We'll take those too as long as you give us 5 stars. We don't really care. So thanks to everybody for leaving us a review, putting us up on the spotlight there on Apple Podcast. Hopefully bring us to big things one day. So we're going to talk now to Mike from BassCop is what he's known as. Mike, I don't know if you want me to say your last name or not, but I'll just refer to you as Mike BassCop.
You can use my last name. It don't matter.
All right. So Mike Burba, who's also known as BassCop, we're excited to have him with us tonight, and we're going to go right on and start. So Mike, how did you get into car audio?
Back in the day, 90s, I had friends that had stereos and running around town. People were loud. It's like, what's that? And my brother-in-law ended up having a little bit of a stereo, and I got the bug. And I had a stereo even before I had a car, in my bedroom running off a 12-volt battery.
That's the kind of stories I like to hear because I was the same way. I would like to read the Crutchfields and all that stuff, and I would try to set up systems, and I saved money before I was 16 to build my first car system. So I love to hear that.
Yep.
Now I do have a picture. Is the blue Cavalier? Is that one of your first setups there?
No, I don't have no pictures of that. That's actually my second or third car that I had.
Okay, I'll show it so everybody who's watching on youtube.com/12etalk can see the old Cavalier with the how big are those wheels, Mike? They look like they're maybe 19s.
13 inches.
13s.
But he keeps them clean.
Yes, he does. Got some blacked out headlights too.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna see if I can find the other picture of the inside. Oh, here's the back.
Oh man, the Dr. Frankensteins.
That is old school, and it's four. The first time I saw this, I thought it might have been like a mirror and it was reflecting, but I was like, no, because they're not mirrored. There's actually four subs back there, right?
Nope, that's a mirror.
Oh, it is a mirror.
That
Oh,
is a
he
mirror.
got him. He
How is
got
it
him.
not? Is that just me, or is it? Oh, okay. I do see it now. I do see the reverse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, that's cool, man. You kept that thing mighty clean. Fool me. I was thinking, how could you fit two 12s in the trunk of a Cavalier stacked on top of each other? But that's very clean, and that's one thing that we're going to see moving forward with a lot of Mike's installs and the pictures that I'm going to show you guys is he has attention to detail. It's very obvious because his installs are clean, the wiring is clean, the amps are installed clean. We don't have any MDF boards just sitting there with paintbrush strokes on them. We got really nice looking equipment. So that's
Yeah, a
what we
lot
like.
better than what I'm doing today, even.
Yeah, we usually just hide stuff.
Yeah.
Like I hide stuff in my spare tire well and places
Just
like
throw a
that. So,
board over it.
yeah, board. Yeah,
Well,
two by four.
I'm no pro, and I even made a video about that.
So what was the first system that you were actually proud of? Was it one of the systems he showed, or was it something before that?
Honestly, I've been proud of all of them. Even the cars before this, I had it was an '84 Dodge Daytona, and I had a pair of Legacy 12s and an Optima amplifier, and then later added an Urban Audio 4 channel for my mids and highs, and I was running off a tape deck. I had the CD player that we plugged a tape adapter in so you can listen to the CDs.
Yeah, I had those too. I'm ashamed to admit it now, but I was a tape deck holdout back in the day. I was like, no, I'm not going to CDs. I'll skip. I got to have this tape player.
Yep. I wish I had pictures of that car, but it wasn't exactly the prettiest of cars. Being my first car.
Well, we all have to start somewhere. Rob and I said the same thing. Back then we didn't have the luxury of having a cell phone with a super duper camera built into it the way that people have nowadays. There's no excuse for you to have a system nowadays and not have pictures of it. But
Right.
back then, I mean, we had to go, get our film or go get your Polaroid that costs $1 per picture, and you had to be very what's the opposite of liberal? You had to be very cautious with the number of pictures you took.
Conservative?
Conservative. Thank you very much, Rob. I haven't had my Coke yet tonight, so you have
Yeah.
to excuse me for
That was
for
the mellow
slipping.
yellow.
But that's what you're here for. Keep me from slipping. So what about audio pipe? So I see that you're pretty heavily involved with audio pipe, and even you called your Blazer the AP Blazer years ago. So I'm just curious as how you got the relationship going there with audio pipe.
Well, kind of a long story, but yet short. Um, I had to get out of car audio because I had to do the adult thing in life, kids and that sort of stuff. And I was finishing college, um, but I always had a passion for it. And me and my wife even had a Mitsubishi Eclipse that I just put a couple pair of tens in a custom box that I built in it. And I wish I had pictures of that, but I don't. But I always told her one of these days I'm going to build something crazy. And she was like, oh, whatever. And it got to the point of life, the kids are getting a little bit older now and we're a little better financially, that I was able to say, hey, I'm going to go buy a truck and I'm going to do this. And I bought the Blazer and bought it over in Springfield, Ohio, drove it home. Very next day, I started gutting it. And even then, I wasn't on the audio pipe yet. I was still researching all the groups, because back in the old school days, the 90s, where we're from, your big stuff was Kicker, Rockford, Orion, US Amps, just to name a few. That was it. And now it seems like there's a brand on every corner. Um, So I just started doing a little bit of research and everything and comparing and contrasting. And I was like, you know what, this brand here, Audio Pipe, looks like it may be the best bang for the buck. They got some amplifiers. I found some of your videos. Started looking at some dynos and what numbers this and that was doing. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with this, and that's kind of how it started there.
It's a great story, and it also shows, um, how important it is to be loyal because you've been around them for a while. Obviously, you have done them well in my mind because you promote their products. You're just a straight laced kind of guy. You're not really somebody who's going to put a bad image on anything, and I think that's a good thing for car audio companies because in a lot of ways some of the car audio companies are seen as disturbers of the peace, and they're for the people who are into bad stuff. So I think your positive attitude, your obviously that you're a police officer, and just the way that you portray yourself online is very good, and people who want to become sponsored and want companies to help them out, I think Mike is a very good example here of things that you can do, and the way you portray yourself online and stuff like that. Companies are going to want to stand behind people like you, and I applaud you for what you've done and staying with them. And obviously they've done well for you, and I think they they have done very well because of some of the things you've done, and your installs are superb. And yeah, it's a great relationship from what I can see from the outside. Even though I don't know all the details, I just want people to know out there, if you're showing off for the company well like you are, then both sides benefit, and this is how you do it.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, and Audio Pipe was one of the first bang for the buck brands that I remember getting, that 10 cent a watt mark. So
Mm-hmm.
as far as the early ones, that's one of the very first ones I remember when I got back into audio of being so. I guess it would be reliable and affordable.
And one thing I never realized that Audio Pipe's been around longer than what people think. They started in '89.
Yeah,
Um,
that's something I definitely didn't know.
yeah, and I guess it just took them a while to gain a little steam. But Gonzi Palenzuela, the owner, he's done an excellent job. I think he's recruited and put together a good team from the top down, all the way down to distributors. I mean, whatever they're doing, they're working because they just continue to grow.
yeah, that's cool. I have seen an older amp on eBay that was audio pipe that I was like, that thing looks like it's from the '90s. I had no idea, but I don't remember what model it was. But that's kind of cool. That would be neat to get one of their really old ones and show it off. Maybe we can talk to them about seeing if they got some in their archives or something we could show off, do a video or something like that of.
And maybe they do.
That would be neat. So while we're on the topic of audio pipe, we noticed that you were in the 2017 audio pipe catalog. Like had like a whole spotlight page and everything. I'll show that to the people who are watching. Tell us a little bit about how that came to fruition.
Um, I guess through the power of social media, they kind of took notice and what I was doing, and the relationship kind of kicked off and started talking to them, and next thing I know, they was like, "Hey, can we, let's get some pictures done. We want to put you in our catalog." And I'm like, "No way." Um, but yeah, I give photo credit to my wife. She's the one that actually did the photos, and we sent them in, and they put that collage together. They did an outstanding job.
Yeah, those are great pictures. Your wife, man, she's if she's not a photographer, she's got a second job going on there. They look professional, no doubt.
Yeah, she's pretty good at it. She gets a lot of practice when we go to Gettysburg every year. So
Yeah, and a good choice of vehicle, by the way. I mean, it doesn't get much cooler than the S10 Blazer or pickup, in my opinion, for especially if you're from the '90s.
oh
And,
yeah.
and Rob says this because he has what?
Yeah, I got a S10. We don't do Rangers around here, down here.
Hey, we don't talk about my Ranger. That was a company vehicle purchase many years ago. I've got my money out of that thing many times over. Um, well, that's awesome. You know that they took you in. I know that had to have been like a wow. I've made it now. I'm in a catalog for a company.
Well,
This is something that you show your family and friends and everything. They're like, "Who's the audio pipe?" You're like, "Check this out. I'm inside."
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't say I've made it. I'm just happy for what it's become at this point. I never would have thought that it would went as far as it has, and I don't consider it nothing crazy. I just enjoy it. I love it. This is my passion. This is what I've done since high school. Um, I was going through withdrawals all those years of of having to do the adult thing, but now that I'm back, I just absolutely love it.
Yeah, we all have to do the adult thing. When you grow up, you I see a lot of people that get out and never come back. And Rob and I both were out for a certain number of years. I was out for over 10 years, really, of car audio. It's in the home theater and all that stuff. I never really left audio, but still, um, the car audio thing in the late 2000, 2008 or so, 2005, 2008, when I started getting back into it, it was like they still do this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I thought it was dead, like in the late '90s. This place going nowhere. All these new systems in the cars are getting so good with Bose and everything. People don't need aftermarket anymore.
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, you were like,
Well,
I'm out of car audio, so surely no one else wants to do it anymore.
Yeah,
That's kind
never
of how I
say
thought
that.
too. Because I got in, same story, had kids. I started getting into headphones. So, like you said, we never got out of audio. But yeah, you're kind of always in it. The tough part is when you're in your 30s, late 30s, like me, your 40s, and someone asks you what you do, then you're like, well, I got a YouTube channel. Well, oh, what do you do? You probably wouldn't want to see it. I mean, it's nothing
Yeah,
that's always fun.
I don't think my wife has watched any of my videos, none at all. So she doesn't even know what they're all about. So
Yeah.
hey, it is what it is. But anyway, let's get back to talking to Mike here. Tell us, if you have one of your favorite car audio related stories.
that there's so many of them. I mean, I've had a lot of good times at the shows. Spring break finals there, Daytona '99. That was quite a trip. I thought we
So,
lost video.
oh no. So, have you had any like mishaps or like you know anything that would be? I'm trying to think of something that happened to me. That have you wired something up wrong? Have you burned up an amp on accident? Have you done anything like that?
Um, no, not really. I've had some near accidents. Even with the Blazer, was it when I was unhooking the amps for something, um, and even the best of us forget. Hey, the caps and the amps still have power on them. Yeah, one of my dual terminals on the amps, they've got a little weld mark on it now, where they kind of got a little close to each other.
Yeah, that's always fun.
But with that big a bank of batteries, that puts quite the spark. And it was in the evening too, so I'm sure the neighbors seen the light show from that.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And so as we kind of transition into YouTube, tell us about you kind of much like I do, which you do it a little more than me. You promote positivity in the car audio community. So kind of share your thoughts on that and tell us what your view is on that and how you think it's going. And just kind of tell us about that if you can.
My biggest thing is, you know, stop the hate. I made a video about that a while back. We're all in this together, guys. We're all got the same thing in mind. We want to go loud. We want to be loud. We want to do good on the meter. We want to do awesome demos. Um, I mean, friendly rivalry, that's all right. A little trash talking, friendly. But some of these guys, man, it's just, it's like high school. It's like high school arguments. This guy's fighting today and this guy's fighting tomorrow, and you see it all over. And it's like, man, come on, guys, we're adults here.
Yeah, and I think coming from the era that we started in, people were. It was more of a community feel, I would say, back then than I've experienced now. But now I haven't competed, so I can't speak to that. But part of the reason why we started this 12-volt talk is for that same reason. For people, Roz, like, we're not just one-off creators here. This is a community. We're all intertwined, and we kind of feel like a rising tide lifts all boats.
Right.
Yeah, the whole goal for Rob and I is, we talk with people from all different areas of car audio. We want to talk with manufacturers. We want to talk with representatives. We want to talk with people like you who are influencers, who represent companies and things like that. There's just so many different aspects of car audio, and we want to make sure that we encompass everything and show people that really, we all kind of have the same goal to, raise up the industry and make it a better place for us all to enjoy what we do. So that's kind of our goal here, and hopefully we're portraying that. So, along with your YouTube channel, and Rob already kind of talked about the positivity, and we appreciate that. I joke around in some of mine and call myself a big dummy. That's just so other people can just laugh because we all do dumb stuff sometimes. But as far as your videos, do you have any that you're like most proud of, or the ones that have been really gotten a lot of feedback, things like that?
Um, Probably most, I wouldn't say most of them, but a lot of them in the last year, I'm pretty proud of them. They're actually gaining some steam now, and I'm getting some views and some subscribers. So, I mean, there's a lot of hard work that goes into making these videos that I don't think people realize. And you guys talked about this last week or the week before. Um, my Slamology video that I made last year, I got, I don't know how many hours into shooting that show coverage, and all that stuff. And then once you get home, you take a little time off to breathe, and then I got to edit this video. It took me 8 hours to edit a 20-minute video. Now, granted, my editing skills ain't the best, but I'm learning. It's a learning curve, and I think I'm slowly getting better with my videos and the editing and adding this and that in. So it takes a while.
Yeah, it does, and you're right. We have talked about that before, but we can never say it enough because people that are maybe listening to this or watching this didn't hear the previous episode we talked about it. But yeah, a 10 or 20-minute video that they watch, can take many, many, many hours. You have to think about it the same way of a TV show. A 20-minute TV show, 22 minutes for a 30-minute show. They can spend weeks and weeks, between the shooting, the editing, and all that stuff. And the difference with YouTube, with a lot of people, especially with us, is that we're everything, right? We're the cameraman, we're the editor, we're the talent, um, and everything in between, the sound man, everything like that. So you really have to be rounded off with your skills and be able to do the editing, and from start to finish, it is a big commitment for each video. And people that watch them that don't make them, they can't understand it. It's like when you have a child, right? People who don't have kids don't understand, how much time and dedication and devotion you have to put into having a child. But it is what it is. But it is a lot of time and a lot of effort to do it the right way.
Right. And I really learned last year when I was doing the 2.0 build, because I thought, I'm going to record everything, and I'm going to, from start to finish. And so I started recording, you know, tearing out the old setup, and then all the way up to finishing it. And I was like, oh man, what did I get myself into? Because, every day I'm trying to map out, well, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to try and get this part of the wall done. I want to get this wiring done or whatnot. But then once you start doing it, you're like, well, I got to get my camera set up. So you start doing, no, I don't like that angle. So you change it again, and then, well, the lighting's not that good. I gotta rig up a light this way, and then you do it for a 30-second shot. And it took me an hour to figure that out.
And after you
So,
get all that set up, your kid's like, "Dad, I got to go to practice today.
oh
I
yeah,
got to be at practice in 10 minutes."
yeah. If you watch my videos, my kids are zooming in and out of camera, running behind. They're playing basketball in the background. Just let them go.
Yeah.
It's definitely a challenge. I was looking through some of your recent videos, and I really liked the one when you were at CES going over the audio pipe products. I thought that was cool because if every company had somebody like you that did kind of what you did and just kind of went down and talked about everything and showed people the new stuff. I mean, that was cool because I've been to CES before and I don't really care about going back, but to see like a virtual tour was what you did, and I think these little 10, 15, 20-second videos you see from Crutchfield and some of the other places that put out videos, yeah, they talk, hey, this is this new head unit, blah, 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 and they're done. But seeing the whole line, kind of like you walked it down and just kind of be immersed into that setup, right? It makes you feel like you're more there. So I thought that was really cool that you did that for them. And hopefully people will go check that out. We'll link it below. If you haven't seen it, just do a search for Audio Pipe 2019 CES, and I think you should be able to find it.
So what video surprised you the most, whether it be the response you got to it or just turned out the way you wanted it to turn out, anything like that? What video on your channel surprised you the most?
Um, Probably the very first walk around video I did of the first setup. That by far has got the most views and still gets views to this day. So that's probably one of the best ones performing wise. But the one that surprised me most was it was, I think, the very last video that I did in the build series. I think I called it "That's a Wrap." I mean, that thing's got thousands and thousands and thousands of views, way more than all my other build videos. So it like tripled in numbers. So that was probably the most surprising video.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
those are always fun.
and we talked about this the other night when we were testing for this show. That the way YouTube works, you can never really plan for what is going to be a I won't say a good video because a lot of good videos don't get a lot of views, but you can never plan for what's going to go viral or what's going to get more views than others because I know I'm sure both of you guys have experienced this. You put a lot of time and effort in thinking, man, this one's really going to be a hit. And I don't know how many times I've done that and spent 20, 30 hours between everything and then, you know, just normal or even less than normal. And I'm like, what is going on here?
A few
Yeah.
But
hundred views.
yeah, but you have to push through, and you have to, I guess, by the views, you have to understand what people want to see. And in some cases, it's not the type of stuff I want to show what people want to see. But if you want to make a little coin doing this and, help yourself out a little bit, you kind of have to go in that route. I don't think it's selling out. I think it's just modifying, things that you want to do. But you've got an awesome catalog here of videos. I can't see how many it is total, but you've got probably what, at least
I'm
50
close
or
to 100
60.
now.
Yeah, 100 videos. So you got plenty for people to go check out, and I think everybody should go check that out. And we did a collaboration this year, and that was something that Rob always has brilliant ideas, and a lot of times they go without being said, but he keeps up with some of the other YouTube areas such as tools, and there's some other industries that he keeps up with as well. But he said, "Man, these tool guys, they always do collaborations," and he's like, "They always get lots of feedback, and they help each other out." And I was like, "Man, that's a great idea." So then we contacted several people um, back before Christmas last year. So hey, you guys want to join in? And we had a good return, and Mike was one of the ones that was more than willing to jump in. And that was a fun little video. I don't think any of us got really, any huge hits off of it, but I still think it was a cool collaboration that we should do every year.
Oh, certainly.
And maybe each year we'll see the growth in everybody, and it benefits us. I don't think it hurts, just that
No.
way whoever's watching you may not have seen Rob, and whoever's watching Rob may not have seen you or me, and then we're able to all benefit from that. But it's just cool to show everybody come together.
Yeah, they're fun. That's the best part about it. It's just fun.
It
Oh
is
yeah.
that. So
And after seeing some of the other guys and what they put into it, I'm like, oh, they outdid me on that one. So next year,
QMV, don't even try with
Yeah.
them. Those I don't even know. Did they must have had a green screen or something. Those guys did it up.
Yeah,
Of
he
course,
did.
if you watch any of their videos, you can see they spend some time with their setup and their shots. They do some good videos. And they've got a really cool one where they're working on a Ferrari. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. I think that's one of their most viewed. It's got several million views, but Lorenzo is tearing into it's a kind of a recent Ferrari, I think. And he shows how complicated it is to get the door panels off and how careful he has to be and all that. It's really cool stuff, and check that out if you haven't seen it. So, go ahead, Rob.
All right, so this is something that's curious to me. Are you the only cop that you know that's into car audio? Because you're definitely the only cop I know that's into car audio.
no, I'm not the only one. I've met a few on some of the social media things. There's a few out there, but I don't think any of them is as big as I am as far as system wise and really promoting it. But I've talked to a few, and there is a few out there. But I'm the self-proclaimed loudest cop in America.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, who's going to challenge you?
I love it. I hear it. Anybody out there? I hear it.
Yeah,
Challenge. That's awesome.
gauntlet thrown.
So we skipped around a little bit and we didn't really talk a whole lot about the actual Blazer itself. So I want to show those who are watching here on YouTube, and if you're listening to the podcast, make sure you go to a YouTube channel so you can join in with the video portion as well. But what year is your Blazer, Mike?
That is a 2003.
2003. Okay, so it's a two-door Extreme S10 Blazer. And I want to show everybody some of the other shots too, the amps. I think you said some of this may have been changed up, so let me know if this is recent or not.
That is the first build.
This is the first build. Okay, so here we're rocking the AP 1501s. Is that right?
Yeah, the APCL 1500s.1s. Yep.
Okay, and again, those who are watching this, you get to see the clean wiring and everything, and just the layout. It's very slick looking. You also got some under the hood shots here. It shows the zero gauge. You got, how many? Is it 2 runs, or do you have more than 2?
2 runs right now. There's going to be more here soon.
2 runs of zero gauge going to the back. And what about your alternator setup?
Those are 2 300 amp large case GMs built by none other than Jonathan Patrick at Custom Electric.
Oh wow, so you got 600 amps of juice.
Soon to be more, fellas.
Wow. Now have you thought about well, before we get into that, because I do have some other questions about your system, but or about future goals, but I'll show the side shot. That's a slick picture there of the side of the Blazer. Tell us what you have in the system now, like as far as amplifiers, subwoofers, all the rest of it.
Okay, as far as subwoofers goes, right now I have 8 of the AudioPipe BD412s. Those are in a 6 order that was designed by Drew Jones, Bassaholic Productions. Me and him kind of collaborated and came up with this design, and he does good work. I mean, his design that thing has got a lot of bandwidth for a 4th order. And then push your nose, I got 4 of the AudioPipe APNK 4000.1s, 2 strapped per 4 subwoofers. And then pushing my doors, I have an APNK 2504, and then that's pushing six right now, six of the Neo audio pipe 8-inch, and two tweeters per door.
Yeah, and I like the new amps too. I think they look. I'm not a fan of the design of the other gen amps, but these new ones they actually look a lot better to me, just for my eye, anyways. I don't know if it matters to anybody else, but
Yeah, wait till you see the new dealer series that's coming out this year. They look a lot better than they have in the past.
oh yeah,
So
there
is
they
this
are.
the new? Yeah, this is the new one here,
Yep.
Mike.
Yeah, that's the current setup right now.
Okay, and those are the 4Ks. And you have four of those total, is that right?
Yes.
Nice.
And on a side note, I've got some more wire for the shootout. Audio pipe's one of them, so we'll see how they stack up compared to everyone else.
We'll see. I've had, I can't complain about it. That's what I got. It's audio pipe wire, and it does its job.
So
Yeah.
what about the lithium craze, Mike? Are you interested in anything?
I most certainly am, but my wallet isn't.
Well, if anybody who has a lithium company is listening to this, and you want somebody who can show off your stuff, hit up Mike.
Yeah, because that
Cause
would certainly save me about 600 pounds of weight sitting on the rear axle.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to be doing ball joints soon. I know.
Well, it's not a daily driver, thankfully. So
Yeah. But people that haven't got to see, you've got a video where you count down everything you spent on. Was it the first build or the second build?
it's this second build
It
here.
is second build, so definitely check that out because not a lot of people do that, and like I don't think some people realize how much money goes into these. Although probably everybody watching this does, but some of the audio listeners might not realize how much money goes into that.
Yeah, obviously not as much as some of these other people, especially the big guys in the game, and some of the other popular YouTubers and some people like that. But certainly, I mean, this has all come out of my pocket. Even though I am sponsored, I still got to pay. I don't get nothing for free, so I still got to pay to play. But where I save money is I do everything myself. The only help I had with that second build was my father-in-law came down and helped me hold part of the ceiling up so I can get it screwed in.
we got to make some calls to Audio Pipe and tell them that they need to be giving you product. you don't need to
Now,
be you don't need to be paying for this stuff, man. You're showing them off, and you're doing a lot for them. So they need
Yeah,
to be hooking you up.
hook your boy up.
J Rod, if you're listening, hook this man up. Don't make him buy any amps or anything. You're gracious.
You're not going to
now
find
I,
any other cops to represent your product. I
That's
guarantee you
right.
that.
Come on, man. And this is just a side gig, Mike, and don't take this personally. This is nothing against you, but I hear this too from EXO and some of the other guys, and him saving money to buy the Crescendo amps and this and that, and I'm like, dude, you have so many people listening and following you that people should be like standing in line. Here, use my product. But in your case, it's not the followers maybe that make the difference, but you're showing. I mean, you go to shows, you go to CES, you're doing all this stuff for the company. So yeah, I would just and again, it's not being anything negative toward the company, and it's not trying to say, well, they don't need to give me anything. I don't mean it that way. I'm just being. It needs to be some back and forth here. I just feel like in a lot of cases they're getting much more benefit than we are, especially when you're giving them a whole vehicle here, pretty much of their equipment. But I know that you love car audio, and that it helps when they give you a discount, so that's great too. But I do think these companies need to do more for people like Mike and EXO and whoever else needs to use equipment to for their videos or for their own personal cars. Personally, what do you think, Rob?
Yeah, for sure. But I do have a very important question, maybe the most important question of the night. So, Mike, have you ever had to pull someone over for disturbing the peace with their system? And if you did you check out to see what they had in their ride?
This is a question I get asked all the time. Um, I have once. That's when I worked for the city. Obviously, there's a city ordinance against it. And it wasn't that it was so much that he was loud, because I think he had a couple 15s or something like that. But he was doing it at like 1 in the morning. And that's something else I try to promote people, base responsibly. You know, don't be doing it in residential neighborhoods at 2 o'clock in the morning. And if you're sitting at a stoplight, you look over and there's grandma and grandpa sitting there. They don't want to hear it. I'm sorry, you may be loud and it may sound good, but they don't want to hear it. Or there may be a car in there that's got a sick baby, or baby ain't feeling good, it's teething or something like that. Babies don't need to hear that either. So it's just base responsible, guys. That's my biggest thing, is do it responsibly.
And the other component of that too, Mike, is drawing less attention to yourself. Like pulling into a Walmart parking lot and you're thumping, and then you park your car and go inside. Hello, you're just telling all the thieves that are at Walmart or in the parking lot, hey, come check out this car and see what you can get. So
Right.
you have to be careful in that way too. But I agree, respect. Don't do it late at night going through neighborhoods, annoying people, because all you're going to do is you're going to have laws passed that's going to hurt all of us. And I
Yeah.
hate it when there has to be a law passed for one person being a nimwit, but unfortunately
Right.
it happens a lot. I'm
Um,
sure you
but
see that.
yeah, but the continue answering that question. Now, I haven't pulled anybody over. Working for the sheriff's office now, we can only enforce state laws. We cannot enforce local ordinances in any of the local jurisdictions that's to us. And Ohio does not have a sound ordinance, so you can be as loud as you want, so to speak. But there again, it comes back to use common sense and respect your neighbors, respect the
Yeah.
people that are around you.
Yeah. If you're the guy at the stoplight doing 150, blowing vape out the window, like you're the reason I'm embarrassed to tell people I'm in car audio.
Right.
You, whoever you are, I'm looking at you. I know there's at least one or two of you watching right now. So you know that you're the reason I'm embarrassed. What do you think, D?
Shame them. That's what I
Yeah.
say. Shame them. Make them feel bad. They won't feel bad though. They don't care. That's unfortunate because like it said, it does affect all of us, and negative connotations mean a lot. I think car audio in certain ways has got negative connotations because when people hear a car audio system or hear somebody has one, that's all they think of is 15s or 18s rattling the trunk and doing it in the neighborhood in the middle of the night. So that's not the car audio we want to portray. So
Right.
Mike, back to your Blazer. We never got the numbers. What kind of numbers does that Blazer hit?
No clue.
No clue.
No
He
clue.
never had it metered.
Nope.
Oh man,
Nope.
he's just doing it
Wow.
for the love of it.
That's
That's
right,
awesome.
fellas. The old setup, before I rebuilt it, it was pulling mid 50s. Um, it's louder now. What it's doing though, I couldn't tell you. Honestly, I don't care. It's numbers that really ain't nothing to me. It's about going to the shows and hanging out with everybody and you know playing it and listening to everybody else's.
It's funny because when we do our old school meets, we'll bring out a meter and we're lucky to hit like 140s. And we're like, oh, we got
Yeah.
142.
Hey,
But
I don't want to brag, but I'm doing 136, guys. I mean,
yep, he doing it with 600 watts and two
yeah.
12s.
I think my
Uh,
very first competition way back in the 90s, I did a 136. That
yeah.
was on the old RTA, the old audio control meters too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, back then I was into stuff a lot louder. I was doing 150s with 215s and stuff, but yeah, it's a lot easier on that audio control mic than it is nowadays with these diaphragms.
Yeah,
oh,
what did Wayne say when we interviewed him? What did he say is 8 dB difference or something like
Yeah.
that? It could be. Yeah.
especially when we figured out how to cheat those old audio control meters too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we used to do is on our crossovers, we'd unplug the low pass, plug our amps into the high pass, and we'd set our gains. I forget what voltage was a sweet spot back then, but then we'd go through and play like 50 hertz and just beep, and then it'd be stupid numbers. Well, I mean, we were pulling 60s back in.
With 400 watts.
Yeah, well, the red Cavalier there that I had a Whirlwind, I was 150 watts. Actually, I was 140.
All right, I'm gonna find a couple pictures to share so that people can see what we're talking about. I'll show you the car first.
That's the one.
There's the red Cavalier, and let me find the wall picture here. There we go. 612s.
612s.
And those are some of my favorite Rockford Fosgate subs. Now everyone knows I throw a little Rockford Fosgate hate, but it's all fun. But I do love these subs. These and the DVCs were some of my favorites.
Those were my favorites back in the day as well.
Yeah, they were great subs. Still are.
And I ran those off of 2 Punch Power 50.1s.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, those. Didn't I send you? Didn't you get the mean green 50.1
yes.
from me? Yeah.
That one was given away at a recent OSS meet.
Yep.
I think it was. Yep.
Derek,
Go.
I've been waiting for you to get a hold of one of those, put it on the dyno to see what numbers they actually did.
So I had a 50.2, I think is the one I tested versus the Orion 225. But you had 50.1s, you said?
I had the Power 50.1s, yeah.
Yeah. It was a Power 50.2 that I tested. So I haven't seen. I don't have any Power 50.1 here.
I would love. I've looked around Craigslist and eBay and all that stuff, and I have never found one.
Yeah, it's odd. Some of the old Rockford stuff is not easy to come across, and then you'll see it one day, and then for the next 6 months you'll see one or two a week. It's really odd, but they probably pretty similar to the 50.2 that I tested. It was a 2-channel version, and the 50.1 was the mono block. I think they were rated about the same wattage wise, which is, if I remember the video right, it was about 360 or 400 watts, something like that. I think is what I got at the lowest impedance.
I think the 50.1 done a little more because it was actually rated at 2 ohms mono, wasn't it?
I can't remember what it was rated at, but I knew we were able to strap them together. And don't ask me how we did it then. My old buddy Steve Floyd, he's a guru in car audio, and he's actually somebody I got to give a lot of credit to. So I'm giving you a shout out, Steve, if you're watching. Steve is hands down one of the best guys in the world. He's been a good friend to me, and he has taught me a lot about the audio game.
That's very helpful to have somebody who can help you out, because we all need some directions at times, especially Rob.
And Steve is also involved in some loud vehicles back in the day as well. He had, I can't remember exactly, he had some part in the original Frankenstein band that was on the CDs. And then he's good friends with Eric Parsley, who was a well-known competitor in DV Jag for several years, if you've ever heard that name. So he's had his hands in some very loud builds.
Cool. Well, I attribute my love for car audio to my brother and his early systems back in the 80s. So it's good to have somebody who shows it off, and that's what that's kind of what we are as being creators and putting videos out on YouTube. People may come across our videos and not know anything about the sport, the industry, whatever you want to call it. And if we portray ourselves correctly and do the right thing, then could have us another person who can come back one day and say, I saw this BassCop one day, and he's the one that got me into car audio because he had this audio pipe blazer. And yeah, somebody's going to say that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
for sure.
That's how it works, man. People, you impact a lot more people than doing this type stuff. And I know, comments occasionally will come on YouTube, but you have to think about the number of people who watch and they're still impacted, but they don't comment because I think a lot of people either don't sign into YouTube or they watch it on their TV and they can't really comment. So that's why Rob and I have talked about this before, and we already mentioned it earlier about your online persona and how you act in videos and how you portray yourself. It really means a lot because you could be impacting somebody and not even realizing it. So everybody out there,
Right.
you gotta be good.
Right.
Yeah, and being bass cop, you go either way with it. You can maybe inspire someone that's a bass head, like, hey, this guy's a cop. Maybe I want to go into law enforcement, or you can inspire another way. Maybe like, hey, I'm in law enforcement. Maybe I could check out some speakers too. So
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. And
So
we poked a little fun at you today, but honestly, I'd like to thank you for your service because some people don't realize what it takes to do some of these jobs, law enforcement, firefighters, army, whatever it may be. If you're servicing the community, we at 12 Volt Talk just thank you.
Thank you.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I try to thank every police officer that I run across, and you being the loudest cop in the country or loudest cop in the world, maybe, because we haven't heard anybody else reply back.
No, I
Um,
never thought about using that one.
hey, you
Yeah.
should until somebody can prove you wrong.
There we go.
Um, but
Well,
yeah, you
maybe I'll put it on the meter then.
there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll get SSA or Term Lab to send you one, and yeah, have to have to do that. That'd be cool. Um, Rob, did you have any other questions? I did have one other one before you. So you think about it.
All right.
Um, YouTube, like your goals, obviously, you're showing off your system, you're promoting the company Audio Pipe, who's helped you out along the way. What do you see kind of as your future goals for where you think this YouTube thing will go, and maybe things you may do in the future, or any ideas?
Um, I just want to continue to grow. I mean, maybe one day I'll be EXO status. I don't know. But that, I'm not trying. That's like comparing apples to oranges. But I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm having fun with it. I want to keep promoting. Come on, Connemara can't talk now. Um, just to everybody get along, do the responsible thing. Don't argue on some of these things. Be the bigger person. There's a lot of times I've read some stuff, especially some of these car audio arguments, and I just want to get on there and say my peace of mind. But you know what? Just leave it. That you know, I'm not going to get pulled into that.
Yeah, I think some people just thrive on the negativity, and arguing is just part of their nature. And I hope that it's, not what they grow up in and things they see every day, but it probably is in a lot of cases. They're just reacting to things they're used to. But, more people that are positive, like yourself and Rob and me, um, we only make things better in what we do. So that's the way we have to look at it. We can't affect everybody, but we can only affect the people that we can touch, and hopefully we can touch more in the future. So that's a great plan, and we're here with you, and and do everything we can to help your stuff grow. And I know you're over almost at 1,500 subscribers, so you hit 1,000 not too long ago, and then you're already at 1,500. So you're growing pretty well, and your videos are getting some nice views. So kudos for that. And all I can say is this: I started uploading videos in 2008, and this is 2019. It took 6 or 7 years before I got any, anywhere really. I mean, I was well below 5,000 subscribers for a long time, and your passion, showing people, you know, it comes out in your videos. If you enjoy what you do, it comes across. So if you just stick with it, then you'll keep growing. You learn along the way, and you get some help along the way too. That never hurts. But you'll get there. That's all I can say is don't think just because you haven't got there in a year or two or five or whatever, because it's taken me a lot longer than a lot of other people have to get to get to the status I'm at. So, and Rob,
Most definitely.
yeah, Rob, is the same way. He's growing too. It's just put it in, man. Keep going, and you'll get there.
Yeah, I started to. I actually did my first one last week, a new series that I wanted to try, where I kind of cover a little bit of everything of new products, not only from Audio Pipe, but some other brands that are coming out with some new stuff. And I talk about what's going on in the bass head community, what's going on Facebook, and I try to highlight some other people's builds, what they got going on. So I've had a lot of good feedback from that show. So I'm going to continue to build on that. Once again, I had a lot of research into putting that first show together. So I've kind of started for the next one, and we'll see how this whole thing goes.
Yeah, I remember not long ago, Subwoofer King. His name's Jonathan. I don't know if you've seen his videos before, but he used to do something called Car Audio News, and he would make fun of people, and it was just hilarious. He he I believe he recently got on with the Army, maybe about a year ago. So obviously he doesn't have time to make videos right now. But if you go back and watch some of his old ones, I was like, man, that's a great
Yeah.
idea, because he was promoting some people and then he was making fun of others. Like I think he talked about how buff Jonathan Price was in one video, and then of course a lot of people that are big fans of his couldn't take the joke. It was a joke, people.
Yeah,
But
that's
that's awesome. That's a great idea. I mean, I'll definitely tell people to go check that out, because I'm interested. I haven't seen that video, but I will go watch it when we get off tonight.
yeah. I don't know if I would go as far as making fun of somebody, but I will poke a little fun. I did in that first one. I poked at a couple people. So
Yeah, it was good. I watched that one as well, and you guys know I'm willing to make fun of anybody anytime, because I can take it too. I get a lot of heat too, but I'm full of hot takes. That's what I do.
Is that hot takes or hot cakes?
Both.
Oh man. Well, yeah, that's awesome that you're starting to see some steam, and building up your subscribers, and hopefully we can get you some more audience here from watching this, and you're doing great stuff with Audio Pipe. And again, you know, Audio Pipe, this guy right here is got your back, and it's obvious, and he does a lot for you guys and for the community and for everything else. And I just hats off to just a character, Mike, that you are, and the way you portray yourself, and I don't even know what to say, man. It's awesome that we have somebody who is a leader in the community, a sheriff, and does things the right way. It's awesome.
I'm just being me, guys. It's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Well,
the best thing about Mike is he's always in the chat. He's always in there with Mark and Joaquin, and well, I mean, there's so many people I could mention in there, but like you guys that are always in here chopping it up with us, and we really enjoy that. And the thing I like the most is you guys are talking about something totally different than us half the time during the chat. And it's just so funny to me. It's like that's the part of the community that I like. You guys could just be in there chopping it up while we're doing our thing here.
Oh yeah, I follow along and I'll comment on something that somebody's talking about, but I'm still listening to you guys. That's when I'm able to watch it live. There's a lot of times I'm not able to get on live, so I have to watch it later.
yeah, we appreciate that, and again, thank you for your time tonight, for joining us here. And we'll link below to your YouTube channel and also to your Facebook page. People can go check out all the cool pictures of your rides, and also they can find out more about Audio Pipe and your Blazer and the build, and just go check out Mike's videos. He's got almost 100, he said, and there's some really interesting ones there. I see he talks about some of the amps, and it looks like some of those have got some pretty good views too. So people want to see like the guts of the
Some of my reviews.
yeah, the APNK
Yeah,
4K. It looks like a lot of people like that one.
yeah.
So
There's a lot of people that wants that on the dyno, and
oh yeah, well hey, we can make that work.
we probably could.
Yes, we can definitely make that work.
I'm curious myself to see what but it actually does because, to my knowledge, there has been no audio pipe amp that has not performed at or above rating. So, on any dyno or video that I've seen.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, I think the 1500 when I first tested it, it was right at it definitely. And then Orion has tested the APMI 2K, which is ridiculously cheap. It's under $200, and it did its rated. I think it's rated like 1925 or something at 1 ohm. And
1944.
okay, yeah, so he got over 2,000 watts with it.
Well
so.
over 2,000.
Yeah.
And that line's actually changing to, it's going to be called the APMN line, starting this year.
Okay, so we got
Because
some
they
new ones.
actually, well, they've actually come out with a micro line now for motorcycles and stuff, and some of those amplifiers are no bigger than my hand. So I plan on doing a little something on those here in the future too.
Yeah, Rob and I, we've talked about this in the previous episode too about the small amps. Remember that, Rob? What did you say when you did a search on Google for?
Oh yeah, it was on Facebook. You had something from like 2013 or something where you posted about micro amps.
This is the next big thing, right?
Yeah.
I should have invested in it way back then.
Yep.
But yeah, the motorcycle. I mean, obviously you can tell Rockford and Kicker, a lot of the real big companies, they're focusing a lot of time and effort and energy and product into, the side by sides, the motorcycles, the even the watercrafts, stuff like that. So
Right.
they're obviously expanding the market, but you got to have a small amp. So I'm excited about small amps because I think hiding amps everywhere you want to is a cool thing. So we'll have to see what Audio Pipe comes out with, and I don't know if you know, but we're gonna ask anyway. Are they planning on coming out with something bigger than a 4K?
There already is.
Oh, what is it?
It's the APPZ line. It's all the way up to a 6K.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
6K.
And actually, they come out with a new line. Oh shoot, I knew this would happen. I can't remember off the top of my head. APDLO, I think it is. Don't quote me. There's too many part numbers to remember. But it's actually there's a 2.5K and a 3.5K in that line. So they're trying to jump into the I guess the niche of the half Ks. So
Okay. So, but there is a 6K available right now, and is it a dealer specific model?
no, it is. It's actually part of the Brazilian line. It's technically a full range amplifier.
Okay.
But they are beastly.
Wow.
There's a few people that have it. I've sold a few, and everybody's just super pleased with them. I've actually even thought about switching to them myself.
Yeah, man. Send that audio pipe. Send Derek one. He likes Brazilian amps. If you don't notice.
Well, let's put it this way. We talked earlier about, sometimes doing stuff you want and sometimes doing stuff people want. If you go to Facebook and do a search for certain Brazilian companies and see how many just likes they have, over 1 million, then that tells me they've got a pretty big audience. So, yeah, I won't say that I test amps based on how many likes a company has, but when a company like starts with a T has 1.4 million likes on Facebook, that means they got a lot of people that want to see their stuff. But audio pipe, absolutely. I mean, hey, let's do a 4K and do one of those Brazilians. I haven't done audio pipe in quite a while, so maybe it's about time.
Yeah, maybe we can get one of the new dealer lines sent to you, or even one of these 3.5Ks.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Sure.
We'll talk to J Rod about that and see what's up. Well, cool. Rob, did you have any other questions for Mike?
No, I think we could wrap it up and go into the after show.
All right, let's do that. And it looks like we've hit right about at our hour mark, so very cool. Thanks everybody for watching us here on youtube.com/12vtalk. If you're listening via podcast on your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, however you're listening to us, please check us out on youtube.com/12vtalk and subscribe to us because you can see the video version. You can see our horribly shaven faces. You can see our hats flipped around backwards. You can see Rob wearing a suit. There goes Mike flipping his hat around. But yeah, check us out and make sure you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts because it helps us out. And we're hoping one day to make this our full-time career. Sit here and talk to people all day.
I
Maybe
would
not.
retire to do that.
Yeah, see, we could have you on like every other day and talk about people that you stopped and all that kind of fun stuff. Be the Joe Rogan of car audio. Okay, maybe not. We're cleaner than Joe. No disrespect, Joe. All right, well, we'll sign off now. If you are online, YouTube, hang on because we're going to allow y'all to ask questions. That's the best part about watching us live. You can ask questions. So until next week, this is Derek. This is Mike. This is Rob. We are
Out of here. I just hit you with the medium. Hit you with the medium this
I
time.
like it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to come up with a new outro for 12 Volt Talk. What can we do? We'll
For
figure
sure.
that out. Because I haven't even been doing that one lately myself. All right, people's questions. Ask away, so we can play.
Oh boy, they were really chatting it tonight.
They sure were. I'm gonna have to go
Yeah.
back up. Let's see
That's what I'm
here.
saying. They're not. They're just here. They're not here to watch the show. They're here to chat. They're here to chat.
They're here for the cookies. They're talking about GM 4.3s and 3800s and S10s and Firebirds, supercharged Buicks.
I see.
Hey, I meant to ask you.
My son is watching.
Oh, cool.
And commented.
Hey, Mike, that Corvette, I didn't show it. Is that your Corvette or is that somebody you know?
Which Corvette's that?
Here, I'll show it real quick. I wasn't sure. I don't think it doesn't.
Oh
have
man,
a
he's talking
license
like
plate
he's got multiple Corvettes.
Yeah, which Corvette? Which one is
Corvette?
that? It's the red one. It's like
I have
a
many.
Stingray, 70s Stingray or early 80s.
That might have been my father-in-law's. Yeah, that's my father-in-law's.
Okay.
Oh, that's
he
cool.
just recently sold that, actually.
Oh wow. Yeah, I saw you in it and I was like, oh, is that the next build vehicle? You could put like 1.8 in there and you could rock the world.
Well, Audio Pipe does have 8s now, so.
Do they got any 6.5s?
Yes, you got to see the BD4 6.5 that's coming out.
Ooh, I'm gonna need to order some 6.5s. Get it going.
Shoot out.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah.
I covered those in my CES video, and I think I had some pictures on a while back of them, sneak peeking to everybody.
Oh, I think I remember that now that you say that.
That thing is a little monster.
Yeah.
And the 21 inch they have, that's the Pro Audio 21, is that right? With the Neo?
Yeah, it's not a subwoofer. Everybody got pretty excited about that, but no, not technically a subwoofer. It's just a woofer.
It's like a pro sound kind of sound reinforcement driver for large venues.
That and some of these stunt walls that are becoming popular. Some of the setups that some of these South American countries are doing with huge walls that flip out 6 times when they open up the trunk.
The ones that got SBN canceled.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy about that is I saw one of those videos recently where they showed all these different people like wheeling trailers back, and they got within like an octagon shape. There was 6 or 8 of them facing each other, and they all just crank it up, and I'm like, what are they doing? They're all bouncing sound off each other. You know, what's the goal here? I don't know how you decide who wins.
Yeah.
But
hey, you sit in the Rockford demo vehicle, didn't you? When we went to
me?
Yeah.
I don't think I did. I meant to.
Gosh, man.
But I got pulled away.
I don't even know how loud that is, but it was pretty brutal. I thought I might have to tap. It hurt my ears.
Was that the van where they had like a seat set up in the very back and they closed the doors?
Yep. The mini sound lab or something is what they call it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I'm trying to find questions.
We're definitely going to turn my mic down even more because I got like 5 or 6 comments on my mic being too loud. I moved it away from my face from this one to help, but...
Well, I tried to... Let's see if it actually adjusted it. Yeah, it adjusted you down.
Yeah. Well, I was still peaking out at 3, so...
Oh.
We might have to go even farther next time.
It's all good. In the hood.
Yeah. I'm a loud guy. They know.
You loud?
Not in. I'm just a loud mouth. I don't have a loud stereo. Here goes Ed, bass cop, bass cop. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when he bumps on you?
Oh, that's great.
That's excellent.
Who doesn't want a demo from a cop?
Exactly.
Any questions, guys? I'm going through and I see y'all talking to each other. I don't see, but there's
Let me
so many.
see.
I mean, I need to start at the bottom. I'm gonna start
I'm
all the way at the
looking
bottom.
too.
So ask if you ask a question, ask it again so it shows up at the bottom of our list.
Oh, here's one right here. Do the new audio pipe 2000.1s have one odd inputs?
Yes.
All right,
They
cool.
the last few years they've had one odd inputs.
What's your daily driver other than your police car?
I can't remember what year it is. It's 12 or 13 Camry. And no, there's nothing in it. The wife won't let
Nothing?
me.
Nothing at all?
Nothing. Just a factory.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did think about getting a couple 6.5s and sneaking them in there on her.
The problem with putting something in your wife's ride is if anything goes wrong, you're on the
It's
hook, man. You're on the hook. It's like I told you this was gonna mess up.
Rob, I take that you have experience with that.
Yes, very much so.
That's funny. My wife asked me to put stuff in her car, so she's different than y'all's experience. We had a Maxima one time, a '96 Maxima that had a JL12W3 in the back, and it was a seal box. That thing sounded really good, and she got used to it. And we got her another car. She's like, "I want my bass back."
Yeah. Actually, my wife, she we had a 93 Eclipse and actually it was the Eagle Talon, so basically the same thing. And we had a Rockford Fosgate Punch DVC 12 that was the same year as the ones that you had. Had it in a custom ported box on a Phoenix Gold ZX 250, the white version, and I was running at 2 ohms mono. And she would get in there and she'd play some song from TLC and she'd pop the fuse every single time. I was like, you can't turn it up that loud on that. I'm gonna have to wire it up different.
Are you doing Slamology this year?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's up near your neck of the woods, isn't it?
It's in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
It's about 4.5 hours from me. From here in southeastern Ohio.
Yeah, we're gonna be in Indianapolis in 4 weeks in a month for a volleyball tournament. Be the first time I've ever been up that way.
Are you driving your own vehicle?
Yeah.
Get ready for the roads because unless they've done a lot of fixing since last year, the roads around Indianapolis were terrible.
Well, we live very close to Oklahoma, so Oklahoma is probably the worst roads I've ever driven on. So
Well,
we'll see how they stack up.
you forgot Rob's got a full new front suspension, so he's good
No,
to
we're
go.
not driving that
Oh,
Suburban. No, it costs us 300. I think it costs. Oh, I don't know. JDR could tell you how much it costs us to drive up there. I don't know how many times we filled it up going to North Carolina. And we were up there for the spring meet.
yeah, yeah, I'm sure. Y'all crazy, man. How it was like 15, 18 hours, something like that.
15 hours.
Told y'all I should just stayed an extra night and gone the
Well,
next
well
day or something.
we gotta get him on to tell there was the trip back. The trip there was fine. I drove the whole way. I was well rested. We ate steak and drank a few beers the night before. Everything was cool. The way back on a whole weekend, maybe 6 hours of sleep the whole
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah.
It
We
it
didn't
got
sleep a whole lot playing with amplifiers. People don't understand how fun it is to play with an amp dyno until you're around one,
yeah, yeah,
and then trying to figure out how to wire them up at 2 a.m. in the morning.
yeah. Messaging itchy.
Why does it say positive, negative here, and then they're flipped on this side? It's got dual inputs,
Yeah,
and this is only one of two ever made.
yeah. We gotta have them on sometime. We could talk about some of that fun stuff.
David, I missed this last week. David Stevens is getting married in Las Vegas, and he wanted us to announce it last week. So sorry we didn't announce that. Congratulations on your upcoming wedding, David. Sorry I can't come to Las Vegas to join in, but
Oh, dude,
congratulations.
send me a ticket, bro. I'm off right now.
Rob's gonna
Uh,
go blow away all his money. There was a question too, and I just lost it.
Yeah, I keep seeing them and it keeps moving on me.
Are you going to
Uh,
TDH show in May? That's Team Daily Hirsch. I think that one's in Virginia,
I think it's Pennsylvania. Um,
Pennsylvania. Okay.
and I want to go. My plans are to go. We'll just have to see how that works out. Because sometimes getting time off just isn't a snap of a finger at work.
Yeah, I understand that.
oh, does Audio Pipe sell B stock? That's one right there.
That's a good
Not that
question.
I know of.
Hmm.
Let's
I
see.
posted before we came on. There was one of the sellers on eBay had some refurbished Rockford amps for really good prices. Did you see that post, Rob?
Recently,
Just posted it tonight before we went live.
you remember when they used to sell pallets of Rockford? There was
No,
an eBay.
this is Drive-In Auto Sound.
Oh,
They had the T2500 for like $550 refurbished,
wow,
and it's usually like $9.99 refurbished. I don't know if they have any left, but
dude, I'd rock one of those. Do you remember back in the day? This was maybe early 2000s. They were selling them on eBay under High Desert Audio was the
yep.
seller name. They were
Hmm.
selling pallets of that stuff for
Yeah,
cheap.
I got a Punch 75 25 to life that was a pre-production model. Doesn't even have a serial number on it from them.
Wow.
Still in the box. Oh, looks like they changed the prices. They must have realized they messed up because the 1500 went from 287 to 599, and the
Oh,
2500 went from 599 to 1200.
I wonder if they canceled those orders.
I don't know. I ordered the Punch, was it a 100X2? It was $139 or something. Yep. So we'll see if they cancel my order. Yeah, TDH is in Virginia.
Then what show am I thinking about? That is in Pennsylvania. Or maybe I read something wrong.
Let's see. Let's see.
I gotta buy a ring, guys. But everyone will meet Lisa. I love it.
Oh, it says Mark used to compete with his 92 Eclipse. That's awesome.
There you go. Hey, the first time I heard Kicker Solo Barracks was in a 89 or 90 Eclipse, one of the earlier models of it.
Yeah.
And dude, I remember being blown away by those
The
Solo Barrack
original, the
12s.
rounds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they
And
fire, were they firing them at the hatch?
yeah, firing them at the hatch, and they
Hmm.
were $200 a piece. And I almost went in there and wrote a check, even though I didn't have that much money. I wanted those 12s, man. They sounded good.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, some of the loudest people, when I first got into it, they all had hatchbacks and
Yep,
Yeah.
all these 10s or 12s firing straight at that back
that's
window.
Yeah.
right. It
Yeah.
really amplified the sound.
That
Couple,
little Eclipse that I was telling you about, it was doing like 138, 139 on audio control mic, of course, but I mean that was 250 watts in a single 12.
well, I don't think a lot of people realize how loud even 135, 140 decibels actually is.
Yeah, that's
Um,
for sure.
to us, that's been doing it. Yeah, it's not that loud because we've been doing it. But for somebody that's never sit in something like that, that's loud.
I
Derek, you still
agree.
alive?
Yeah, I'm
You
still
got
alive.
you got quiet. I didn't know.
No, I was looking at questions, trying to find another one. Let's see.
They're
Uh,
they're, they're flying now.
Yeah.
Does anybody know the price of the BDC 15-inch audio pipe subwoofer?
I am waiting to get my prices, guys. I've posted that a couple times. I'm waiting on the new pricing for the new products.
Here's a good one from Ed, Showtime SPL. As a cop, what is your biggest pet peeve in car audio? You might have already told it when you talked about middle of the night loud systems.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But I guess my pet peeve would be nobody around here is louder than me. So
Oh, throwing some shade at him. Come at me, bro.
That would be the opposite of a peeve, though.
but I actually helped a kid one night in the parking lot of I think it was Dairy Queen. He was having some amp problems, and I pulled in there to see what was going on because I seen the kids stand around it, and they said they're working on stereo. I was like, well, what's wrong with it? And it was like, can't do this, can't do that. And I'm like, let me take a look at it. And I looked at it, and I was like, well, this is wrong. I'm like, here, let me bridge this for you. And I bridged it, got him going, and he was happy, and he went down the road.
That's awesome.
Dude, that's awesome. He's probably telling that story to his friends a million times.
Exactly. I can't believe we're sitting in Dairy Queen. This cop pulls up and he helps me hook up my system. Dude, what planet are we on here?
Yeah.
It's all about community relations, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, where's that body cam footage right there? Local cop helps kid hook up his system.
Yeah.
That's not newsworthy these days, guys.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I guess not.
No good news is news anymore.
Yeah.
I did see a video the other day of somebody got called the cops or either sheriff's office or something for kids that were sled riding down the road, and the officers that came out ended up joining them, and they were sled riding with them. I thought that was awesome.
So we're gonna block off the road so they can sled safely. That's cool.
Somebody asked here, how many miles on the Blazer? It's got 98,000 and change on it right now.
Oh man, that's nothing.
Man, that thing looks
Yeah.
spotless. Is that the original paint?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I try to keep it up the best I can. It's got some flaws. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's see.
Will you explain why Audioban is out of business?
I don't know for sure.
I think that was a
Yeah.
kind of a funny question. You know, they were the one that were caught with all that drug paraphernalia going into Australia.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we never really did a segment on that on 12 Volt Talk, but
So they were on the what would you call that? The DeLorean method of distribution.
yep. Let's just instead of packing
Yeah.
material, let's throw some rock in here.
Yeah. We need to finance these subs, guys.
Man, those 1,000-watt amps fused with 240 amp fuses, man, those things are awful heavy.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned that, let me reach around and grab.
Oh, blah.
Some German engineering.
Yeah, we'll see. The funny thing is if you look up here, it says established in Germany since 1923. But we know these things are straight out of China. But I can tell you what, the box is nice. It's a really nice firm box, but 1,500 watts from two 20-amp fuses ain't gonna happen.
No.
Suspense for a later episode.
I told you it's got those stretch fuses in it. You don't know about those?
Maybe it just has nails.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I see that
Oh,
earlier.
That's great. And did you see the green light was on the amp too? So someone was actually running that. It wasn't just a picture, or either unless they photoshopped it.
John Dub says, "Twisted Sounds methed up their company." That's a good one, man.
That was good, John.
Oh man.
Was that in his Mike Tyson voice?
Yeah.
Oh camera's all shaking on prayer. Everybody's like, what's going on with D? BassCop, do you listen to rebased old school music?
Absolutely.
Should check out DJ Siren if you do. Quality tracks, no distortion or clipping.
I've got some old school stuff out there right now. If you guys watch my videos, you can hear some of it anyway. But then again, some of it's not too appropriate to play, especially with the YouTube filters that are out now. That when it does pick up the music,
or if you make your own tracks like me and they still get you the copyright strike, that's always awesome.
Yeah, I used to use the free music, public domain actually. There's a PD, freepd.com or something. Kevin MacLeod did it.
There is an actual, let me find it here. Let me go to my videos. There is a channel that gives free unlicensed music that you can use for videos on YouTube. And I can't not navigate this.
You know, back in the day, we used to rebase our music with a little thing called a audio control epicenter.
You just push the button.
Yeah, just push the button, turn the
knob.
Yeah.
Turn it to the right.
Yeah.
Orion says rebase corn for the win. You didn't even, like some of those old corn tracks, you didn't even have to rebase them. Those things had some bass.
Absolutely not. First track off the first album.
Well,
I'll tell you who has some bass right now. Y'all can probably laugh at me, but I do have children of the female persuasion. Ariana Grande, however you say her last name.
that was the lightest way I've ever heard someone say.
I haven't.
Dude, have you heard the Seven Ring song? It sounds like a Christmas song. You
Can't
gotta
say
listen to
I
that
have.
one. It will rock your world. It goes up and it's good. You like that? Check it out. Seven Rings. You're welcome.
Huh.
I just got to re-see myself here on the YouTube channel doing the little wave. That was pretty awesome. I'll try not to do that again ever, Rob. Sorry.
Hey, man, go ahead. Do it up.
Good old Phil Collins.
Oh, yeah, man.
Hey,
I love some Phil Collins.
There is some Phil Collins at Genesis, not even rebased. It's pretty loud.
You weren't the only one that loves the Seven Rings.
See? Told you.
I was going to shame you,
John Dub, you tell him. That's not the only song that she does that has good bass, but that one is good bass.
Oh, the third air is right. He said last time it was Taylor Swift.
Well,
I mean, we're
Taylor
starting
Swift's got good bass too. If you got a decent system, you would know that. But, you know, I can't help if y'all still listen to Factory Bose. Come on now.
Hey.
Turn up your sub just a little bit.
No, I don't. I listen to podcasts the whole time. I don't need no bass.
I do half the time. The other half I listen to Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande. So
I don't listen to a whole lot of pop music, especially the new stuff.
I tell you, I do listen to a lot of 80s pop. So I love 80s pop and early 90s pop. That's just something, I don't know why, but I do.
I'll tell you who else has got good bass. Maroon 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on Spotify, what we do is I find the now what they call music or now something music. Anyway, it's the clean versions of all these songs. So, because a lot of cases, you know, the radio cuts out a lot of stuff. And you go on Spotify and pull up a song, and I play like for one sentence or one stanza or whatever you want to call it, and whoa, we got to turn that off because the little ones are hearing it. But if you listen to the now stuff, they have it all radio edited. Some of the songs don't sound right, but go ahead, Mike.
I found it for you. If you want any music to go in your videos or anything, this channel is called Audio Library, and it's got all copyright-free music for content creators.
Yep. Yeah, I've
so
heard of that
I've used some of their stuff.
Yeah, I'm a subscriber to them too. That's good. Good stuff to have. Some of the people that are on SoundCloud do the same thing too. They'll
Yeah.
allow you to use their stuff, and I think you just have to attribute them or something. Just depends.
But the thing that gets you is, even if I make my own tracks, I'm using a lot of live loops. So what happens is someone else is doing the same thing, but they got their song on Spotify and they're with a MCN. So then that's how you get the copyright tag, and it's a disaster.
It
I go
is.
on about it forever.
Well,
It's
I had some problems, like when I'm outside filming, building, or doing this or whatever. It even picking up my background music. I learned I had to keep that down real low when I'm actually filming,
yep.
or it'll pick me up and copyright you.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
it hard too because I think we all like to listen to music as we're doing stuff, and what I found is I just mainly cut my audio off when I do my editing and just do voiceover for most of it, just so I can cut all that stuff out.
Yeah. It's all Viacon's fault.
Melanie Martinez is known for bass in her songs. I'll have to check that one out. John Dub.
I won't be checking that one out.
Hey, I can't help it. Y'all aren't up to the current stuff. I'm Mr. Old School here, and I listen to new
Yeah.
pop. What's wrong with
Hey,
y'all?
I've got a 16-year-old, but I got her. She listens to the old school stuff, man.
Oh
She
well,
likes Third Eye Blind
I like
and
it all. In fact, if you go on Spotify, you can find a lot of remix stuff, old and new.
yeah.
That's the kind of thing I used to like Napster for, because you could always find the cool mixes on Napster that nobody else have, because the DJs would do the mixes and they'd upload it to Napster. Get some really cool. What is it? That one AC/DC song that's got like AC/DC, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses. It's got all of them to a really cool beat. You ever heard that one before? You Shook
I
Me
don't
All Night
think so.
Long,
Might have.
Mm-mm.
but it's got all the different songs kind of mixed in, and they do it at the right beats. It's really cool.
I mean, we've been talking about bass tracks, and I ain't heard one person say nothing about DJ Screw. So shame on everybody, including me.
Oh, that's a shame, Rob. Nobody knows. Napster hasn't been around for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Yes, I know this. Thank you. Thank you. Bass mechanic. Yep, bass mechanic for sure.
Oh, I love old.
Bassotronics.
My favorite bass mechanic was probably like the very first one that came out.
Did you guys ever listen to the TV show bass tracks? It had like Pink the
Yep.
Panther.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love that, man. I don't know why, but I did like that.
I I can't think of his name. Was it Rob something over bass mechanic? I've talked to them before. I'm like, man, you guys ought to re-release all your albums on the USB. I mean, I would gladly pay
hmm
for all the albums on the USB. Rob Grimes, that's his name.
Yeah.
Yep.
I need to
Rob,
hit him up. We
should
need to license some for our videos.
Rob, should you tell him about those bass CDs?
Oh man, have you been seeing the prices some of those old school bass CDs are selling for?
Oh man, it's crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't even believe it, man. I mean, I got a bass mechanic version 5.0 signed by Elma Gates back here. I'm thinking about retiring off it.
You probably could right now.
Well, I mean, what they were like $250 for some of those ones that you were showing me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they were expensive. Some of them were up in the hundreds. A lot of them, around 40, 50, 60 bucks, which is a lot by itself.
I had hundreds of bass CDs, literally hundreds of them. Every time a new one come out, me and my buddies, we were going up to the mall and we were flipping through the catalog there, trying to find them, getting them.
Yeah, that's what it was all about because well, especially back in the early, like right around 1990 when I started listening to the bass stuff, it was DJ Magic Mike, and then if you got into the dirty stuff, it was the Two Live Crew. They had good bass, and
Mm-hmm.
there were some other ones, but there wasn't a
Nem-
whole lot.
Nemesis, Munches
Yep.
for Your Bass.
Yep.
Tech Master, Bass Patrol. I can't remember all of them now, but there was a bunch.
Yeah, we had a record store. I can't remember the name of what chain it was, but I remember the CDs were $17.99.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
it was like, man, I went without eating lunch a lot of weeks to save my lunch money so I could get a CD.
Yeah. We had that. Was like Camelot Music was one of them. Did you guys
Starship
have that?
Records. That's what we had.
Starship.
Yeah, I heard of Camelot too. Yep.
We had a few of them.
Quad City DJs. Yep, that's another one.
Oh, I forgot about them. We used to play their, what is that train song? I can't remember the name of it, but that was popular.
Pastor Jack, what is the 18 band Zapco equalizer you're talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I do not know. Are you talking about the MA audio amp that's got all the adjustments on it? I don't have a Zapco 18 band equalizer. Isn't there an app called Miami Bass? I think I have one on my phone called Miami Bass. Have y'all seen that one? Somebody told me about this a while back. Yeah. Miami Bass FM. You see it right here? Miami Bass FM.
Never heard of it.
Get you some. Let's see if it actually still works. Maybe. I don't know if it actually works though. Oh, it's because I have it muted. Oh.
The third era. You can't consider yourself a bass head if you haven't bumped bass to "I Love You." Are you talking about the Tech Master?
No, it's the Bass Mechanic Bass I Love You.
It's
okay.
It's Bassotronics, man.
It goes like dun dun dun
It's
dun
not
dun.
Bass Mechanic. Bassotronics.
Because I remember there was a.
No, it's Bass I Love You.
Yeah, I know, but the guy is Bassotronics, not Bass
Oh, is it?
Mechanic. Yes.
Oh man,
He
I think you're
comments
wrong.
on some of my videos.
I think you're wrong. I'm looking it up right now.
Look it up. Do like my wife. Bet me. I always win bets. I never bet unless I know.
You know what? We're
I'm
both right. We're both right.
What?
Yeah.
They had two versions?
Nope. Look at those credits.
Oh, you're not in focus. You got to talk, so it'll switch.
All right. Can you hear it? Can you see it? Can you see it now?
Bass in your face. Bass.
Yeah.
I see Bass I Love You, Bassotronics. I don't know what
But then there's a comma. Bass Mechanic. See that?
Oh, at the top?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe
We're
Ed
both
knows
right.
about that.
Yeah, see? You can see it bigger here. Check it out.
I see it. I don't need to see that again.
There you
I'm
go.
glad that you won because I won too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken says he looked for Magic Mike cassettes every time he went to Walmart back in the day.
I remember having Magic Mike on cassette. What was it? Nightmare Bass, something. It was something that had to do with Halloween.
Yep. That's the one that had every other track was a real song, and the ones in between were like dumb little burps and all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah, but I remember my mom used to get so mad because I'd play that in my room, and I'd shake everything in the house.
What did you have in your room? What kind of sub?
Actually, I had some Voltron subs.
Okay.
Oh, man, those were killer.
That was good.
Yeah, I had those, and I can't remember what amp I had in the house, and maybe one or two batteries. I can't remember either.
Oh, that's someone talking about you not being old school. If you haven't based out to Flashdance, then you're not old school.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, but it's not Ariana Grande.
Larry Keller, don't help Derek's case here. He doesn't need your help.
Thank you.
I tell you,
Everybody's gonna go listen to Ariana Grande after this show you watch. They're gonna comment next week like, man, Derek, you're right. She got some bass in her songs.
I tell you another that I found that has quite a bit of bass in it is Pink Floyd.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Time. I figured out Time one day because I'm a Pink Floyd fan and I just listened to them quite a lot. I was driving somewhere in a Blazer one day and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. It was a song Time, and man, that thing was hammering.
Dude, you will hurt yourself with. Hold on a second. I gotta find this song that they do. Time is good, but this other one is just the beginning of it is just an amazing conglomeration of bass. Hold on, I'm gonna find it because this is gonna kill me. Somebody's gonna tell me.
Probably Comfortably Numb or
Nope. It's
Run Like Hell's got a lot of good punchy bass to it.
hold on, I'll tell you. It has a lot of mechanical sounds at the very beginning.
Oh, Welcome to the Machine.
Yes, Welcome to the Machine. That one will rock your world.
There's some of my videos I play that in it. I got my wife's cousin in one. I think I actually even titled it that. Welcome to the Machine. Yeah, it's crazy.
I let people hear that with my little 10W7 and my Accord, and they're like, I gotta get out. It's too loud. That song is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I don't believe the one I played was even bass boosted. It's just
No,
crazy.
that's just yeah. Like I played off Spotify usually. Rob, have you noticed the volume level has gone down through Bluetooth through your 80 PRS lately? I don't know if it's an Apple update or something. Have you noticed that?
Well, I haven't because I don't listen to anything but usually Bluetooth through there. So
But have you noticed you've had to turn it up a lot louder? Because I used to, like on mine at 30 something, that was pretty loud on my head
yeah.
unit. But now I got to get up like into the 40s before it starts getting loud. And I'm like, did they
Wow.
turn down the Bluetooth?
I'm always interested in that too because like mine, I turn mine up to 55's top volume.
Yeah.
So like I guess I have my gain set lower, or my because I guess it doesn't actually distort until like 60
Yeah,
or
yeah.
59.
No,
So
62 I think is how high it goes.
yeah.
But mine, I used to never be able to get it above 50. It would hurt me. But now I can go in the mid 50s, and I'm like, it's got to be the gain or it's
It
got to
could
be
be
something to do with the phone.
probably like the Luma Fusion update where our voiceover is all screwed up.
Exactly. Gotta love it.
There's some old Rush songs too that was pretty bass heavy.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Rush
yeah.
sounds good on a system.
Oh yeah.
10W7 Damien right now it's still a Punch 200 from 1993.
They said Alistair said maybe you're losing your hearing, Derek,
say
about the
something?
Spotify.
Say something.
Yeah, got him.
Got him. It could be. No, I don't turn it that loud without having ear protection. Don't do it.
Turn that down.
All right, we have gone above and beyond our normal time here, gentlemen. We needs to sign out.
Yeah.
Yep, we're good.
Oh wow, wait! I guess we have been going a while. I've been paying attention to.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that late either. Well, cool, man. Thanks again for hanging out with us. We will.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's
man.
Cool.
We had fun.
We will go ahead and stop the stream. Thanks everybody for joining us live, for asking questions, for behaving in the chat room. Peace out, brothers.
All right. Later,
Peace
guys.
on.